Raj, thank you for joining me today. Very, very excited to speak with you. And I know that you have been, just over the last several months, you've been very proactive in the firm. You guys have been doing quite a bit. I think everything from just mapping out the long-term vision to implementing like EOS, things like that. I guess if you could talk me through what the last few months have been like for you in the practice and some of the things that you guys have done.
Sure. So as a firm, we were, I'll say the word prepared to be able to go remote before the pandemic hit. We were already about 25 to 33% remote to begin with. And so the transition was easy. The impact that's had on our business has been a pleasant surprise for me from really an improvement in the communication across all channels of our organization, from people in Houston to the people in New Orleans and even Baton Rouge. And it's allowed us to, I think, deepen the appreciation across all people in the firm, as well as getting really narrow into the focus of each part of the organization.
Gotcha. So when you say you guys were prepared, like, what do you mean? Like, in terms of just being cloud-based, or were there other areas that you kind of prepared from a contingency standpoint?
Right. So this city, we're in New Orleans, like we were talking about earlier, has been through a lot. And so there were horror stories back when Katrina hit and you couldn't return to the city for weeks and months at a time, where law firms were just shut down, couldn't access email because everything was locally based. And I remember when watching that occur saying, when my time comes, that'll never happen to us. And so every decision we've made that as a firm has been, okay, if something bad happens, can we, like I said, flip a switch and go remote and not miss a beat? And so we've kind of had a mentality here, whether you're in New Orleans, New York, or New Delhi, you should be able to be at your desk, at your laptop, and have the same systems. Yeah, our phones are cloud-based. Case management software is cloud-based. We pretty much don't want anything local.
So, curious, in your area of practice, when you guys are doing just property damage claims, like, as you've seen that the impact that's had for basically all types of communities and even businesses, has that over the years, I know this is probably a stupid question, but like, has that prepared you in any way, like, of seeing the impact that you can see in, everything from like a natural disaster to even like a pandemic like this? Like, does that create a greater sense of awareness, perhaps?
I think it creates a natural sense of resiliency. When our clients come to us, they've usually encountered a situation that they could have never predicted. And it's often emotional. There's personal injury, which is emotional. It's bodily injuries, and you feel it every day. But people's homes or their business is one of the most important assets in their life. And they take that very seriously. And so when they can't get treated properly, it creates a sense of deep emotional pain that we experience more than I think people realize in this practice area. It seems like it's a bit stoic. It's just property damage, and what's the big deal? But it's not a big deal until it's your property. And so, yeah, I think when our clients, our lawyers rather, listen to these stories, it creates a sense of, wow, we need to, one, do a great job for these people, and two, they're going through a lot, and it creates a sense of resiliency.
So for a lot of the firm owners that I've spoken with, an experience like this one with COVID has almost been like the catalyst behind implementing a lot of positive change within the firm so that they can come out a stronger firm. What types of things have you guys done, or have there been aspects of this that, perhaps this was the catalyst behind? Certainly.
So this was a unique opportunity to really look inward at the firm and say, okay, what are the things that we think that we need to be better at? And one of the ones that we've highlighted, I solicited feedback from the most senior people down to the law clerks. And what are you guys saying? What can we do better? And we've made a commitment to improve our customer experience, our client experience, and really, to the extent possible, create almost an enjoyable retail-like experience. And so this week's workshop with Joey Coleman was fantastic because it touched on those very issues and how it's so important to delight the client at every touch point with the law firm. And that's easier said than done. We're going to try a lot of different things to try and create that experience. And I'm sure we'll make some mistakes along the way, and that's part of the learning and growing process. So we're really excited about implementing a lot of the things we've been planning over the last few weeks.
And on the converse of that, what have you seen as being like the biggest challenges over the last few months for you guys?
I'll tell you, the dealing with clients that got nervous, I think, was something that was a little surprising for us in the sense of we know that we gave good communication with respect to your claims are moving forward, the courts being closed are not slowing anything down. But it turned into a sort of a, hey, look, my home is still in various stages of disrepair. My business is not fully repaired, and now we're shut down. And understanding that this affects everyone deeply was something that we had to pivot and make sure we addressed for every single person.
In looking out to, like, let's say even the long term, I know you guys have been working a lot and focusing on like the long term vision. How has that, or has it changed at all in light of the last few months?
If anything, it's crystallized what we want to be and where we're trying to go. A lot of our work is hands-on. You guys have people flying all over for shoots. We have experts that are all over the place that are inspecting properties, jumping roofs, and that changed overnight. That changed, and so we've had to have a lot of communication with our clients about, hey, look, are you comfortable having someone come to the home, come to your business? And the answers have been all over the place. And so we've said, okay, look, what can we do to make this experience for you as painless and as comfortable as possible? And so I think there's going to be a shift in the way we prepare our cases, from gathering the evidence and putting together a demand package. It may require a little more creativity, and we're learning that on the fly.
And to someone who's like watching this, for example, to another law firm owner, based on the experience that you've had over the last couple of months and how you guys have pivoted and adjusted as a firm, what advice would you have for them?
It's a word I think I've said a couple of times on this call, and that's resiliency. What I've tried to impress upon everyone in this organization is the pandemic is not the worst thing that's going to happen to this organization, right? We've got decades to go. And if we think that this is the worst thing, then we're not prepared for what's to come. And so, and just look at the last 15 years, from Katrina in 2005, the BP oil spill in 2010, we've got a pandemic, which was not on my radar, admittedly, and there will be something else that's not on my radar today. But having that resiliency and knowing, okay, we're prepared for this, I think is going to be crucial going forward.
Excellent. Well, Raj, thank you. It's been a pleasure speaking to you about this. Very, very helpful, very insightful. How soon do you think that, I know we were looking out the window earlier, but how soon do you believe that a sense of normalcy will be restored?
It's going to be difficult. Cities have different industries. We're a tourism-based industry here in New Orleans. There are certain, macro type matters that need to be figured out. Are people comfortable getting on planes? When can the restaurants have maximum capacity? When are the bars going to reopen? Things that deeply affect this particular town. And we're going to learn as we go, and think a cautious but steady approach is going to serve everybody well. But I'm hopeful that this year things will return to some sense of normalcy, but that normal may be a little different.
Awesome. Raj, thank you.